Welcome to Dear Devere, a interesting little visual novel for NaNoRenO 2020 by Katie133, which, to my knowledge, is about a series of found letters between two parties. Back in the 1930s, I want to say? A mystery ensues. And this is actually fully voice acted, from what I know. Let's get right into it. Yep, 1937. Prologue. Angela Bard, P.O. Box 27, New Soane, the Isle of Mull, Scotland.
I suppose I should start with a short summary of my life. I don't really feel like doing that, so I shall skip to the present. I run a reading group with several other women in the town of New Soane. Every Saturday, the members come to my house to discuss a novel, chapter by chapter. We're currently reading Pride and Prejudice. I thought it would be fun, but then I realised that everyone was a friend of Eliza Frame. Eliza does not like me. God knows why she joined the reading group. If she dislikes me so much, why join in? It's beyond me.
Fair.
But she does not like me. That much she has made clear. Always making comments about the state of my house. This week, she had the almighty nerve to complain about my window curtains. They're practically falling to pieces. No wonder you're not married, were her exact words as she rifled through them, revealing the inner, thinner layers.
Ah, yes, correlation. Not
I
causation.
keep those curtains in that position for a reason, I wanted to say. But I bit my tongue. Who does she think she is, the curtain police?
Clearly.
It was trying enough when it was only Eliza. But now the others have been doing it. I have essentially been shunned out of my own group.
Well, I mean, given that statement, she's clearly the marriage police, and she's looking for things to blame on that. Oh well. Be your own woman,
How
Angela.
the amount of work I did organising everything get forgotten and replaced with old curtains and teacups being the wrong colour. Or whatever it is that isn't up to Eliza's standards.
You're your own woman, Angela. Screw her.
That's all gossip and politics. My word against theirs. I generally keep to myself, so no one really knows me. But they know her. Of course they're going to listen to her. I recently read about the effects of venting one's frustrations onto paper, of writing to no one, with no intention of seeing the light of day. Sounds a bit doubtful to me, but I'm willing to try it. After I finish writing this, I'll go to the forest, just beyond the post office, and leave the envelope under a rock, where it will decompose.
That is interesting, as a premise.
I'm almost at the end of the page. I thought this would work with helping to make me feel better, but it's not the same as actually writing to someone. It's like shouting down a hole. You're letting out your frustration, but no one can hear you.
Or like shitposting on the internet, for instance.
I'm not depressed. I'm angry.
I mean, there's gotta be a little sadness in there.
People hate me, and I hate them. I'm stuck having to see them every day at the shops, at the library, at the book club. And people are talking about another war possibly happening. Everything just feels so uncertain. I am rambling at this point, and I am wasting my time. I am wasting postage stamps and envelopes. But if you're going to do something, I think it's important to make a proper job of it, including a return address and everything. If I'm going to be accused of one thing, it's not going to be of doing things by halves.
No halvesies. In it 100%.
Thanks for nothing, Angela Bard.
You ask for nothing and I deliver. Whoa. Postbox address, under the rock at the edge of Ardmore Forest. Well.
Dear Angela Bard, thank you for your letter. This Eliza Frame sounds like a right serpent. Forgive me if that was too far. I generally keep to myself as well, and I often wonder how out of practice I am with even the smallest interactions. Your letter has interested me strangely. Please, write to me again. Yours sincerely, Mr. Devere.
Devere. Oh, fair. Alrighty then. Don't mind if I do. This is no longer a pointless endeavor. Someone answered. Never expected that.
To Mr. Devere, what kind of joke is this? Who are you?
The rational response to receiving a letter at the post office address of the Rock in the Woods.
My letter interests you strangely. Well, the feeling's mutual. But you cannot expect me to continue writing to a perfect stranger. I don't know anything about you. For all I know, you could be some sort of dreadful con man. I don't know if I trust you.
Again, fair.
You wrote that you keep to yourself? Tell me, how is it that I don't recognize your surname at all? Even if you're a recluse, surely I would have at least heard of you.
I do a good job of keeping to myself.
Tell me about yourself. What's your daily routine like? Angela Bard. P.S. I hope that I can trust you won't tell Eliza or anyone else about my letter.
Whoa. This is a completely different, artsy-looking letter. Where is this from? It's got a stamp on it. Wow.
Dear Angela, it seems as though you have, unwittingly, given a lot of information to a stranger who hasn't returned the favour. I agree that that is unfair. I shall use this letter to remedy that.
All right.
You requested that I write to you a recount of my daily routine. It took me a great deal of thinking to try and make this letter not bore you. But if I have failed, please forgive me. I suppose I should write to you about today. I took a walk through the northern part of Ardmore Forest, taking in the tree-scented air. It's the kind of air that can feel icy down in your lungs in the morning, but I strangely enjoy it.
Yeah. I feel you.
There isn't a path where I go, but I know the forest very well. To the north, there is a very old yew tree, so big that the span of my arms cannot reach halfway around its trunk.
I could probably turn on
At
this.
some point in its lifespan, it began to lean, and now it tilts to a degree that almost seems to defy gravity, looking as if it could fall at any moment, but never doing so. It is beautiful. This yew tree creates a nice patch of moist shade that is perfect for growing mushrooms. I collected some. These were a variety of Scarlatina bolete, a round, plump mushroom that tastes excellent when cooked, and then went on my way. My days involve a great deal of walking. I leave my home, a furnished cave well hidden in a large rock face, and take a wander. On other days, when there's too much rain, I'll stay inside, reading and drawing.
Furnished cave?
While I generally don't leave the forest, I have all I need. I find some interesting curios around the forest. A dropped book here, an abandoned picnic basket there. My home even has a phonograph in almost perfect condition.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Several winters ago, I was lucky enough to discover that a human had left an almost unused case of painting supplies.
A human?
Intrigued by the opportunity, I tried using it to paint.
Are you a forest spirit of some sort?
My first attempts were quite alarming failures, but I continued to practice. What you are holding in your hands is the fruit of my labours.
It does explain the creative decorations.
As I am writing this, I realise how much I'm leaving out. Let me tell you the whole truth here. You've probably noticed how I've used the word human instead of person. I may as well tell you now, instead of you inevitably piecing it together.
That's a human person.
You see, I'm not what you'd call human. There's no silver-tongued way of putting it. You'll want proof that I'm not mad as a hatter, of course you will, so I'll provide it. When you slumber tonight, I will send you a dream.
That's ominous.
Don't be stressed. I mean you only well. Please. Yours sincerely, Mr. Devere. P.S. I have a plan at getting back at Eliza, if you're interested.
Hell yeah. Oh, a drawing in return.
To Devere. Despite my assumptions, I'm convinced. At first I thought you were perhaps a friend of Eliza's, that you were trying to play some sort of mind game with me. But after a night of trying to sleep, I finally did. And what I dreamt felt so real.
It's a nice drawing.
I was walking through the forest, in a clearing. I found an ornate table holding a tea set and a serving tray covered in cakes. I somehow knew it was for me. I sat down in one of the chairs. When I did, something inexplicable happened. As happens often in dreams, the teapot rose up and poured a cup for me, and a cup for another. You were invisible to me, but I knew you were sitting in the other chair. I looked down at movement on the ground. I could see your shadow and I saw horns. I had visions of fur and wolves' teeth and wings made out of feathers.
Horns,
I
wings,
think I know what you are.
fur.
But strangely, I did not feel afraid. Nor do I now. Do you understand? I enjoyed our tea party. After seeing both your letters, I was inspired to make my own illustrated envelope. I tried to draw the dream you sent me. What do you think? I have lots of questions. Can you do other magic? Do your letters go through the postal service? What do you look like? How old are you? I'm sorry if I'm being rude. I just want to paint a picture in my mind's eye.
Priorities in order.
So you like taking walks? I was born in Australia, but moved to Scotland when I was a wee child. In Australia, my parents would have me go on long hikes with them in the bush. And we kept this tradition in Mull. I think I complained about it as a child, but now I look back at it fondly. I live alone, which I like. I don't mind the isolation. In fact, I enjoy it. God knows why I wanted to start a reading group with the other women in the town. Which, once again, brings me back to the subject of Eliza.
I feel like if you take long walks in the bush in
What do you have
Australia...
in mind for getting back at her? Signed, Angela.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Oh, that's a key. I feel like taking long walks in the bush in Australia. That's you do that regularly. You're not going to fear much. Key has been added to your inventory. It's metallic, ornate, and well polished. Oops. That skipped through a lot of stuff. Let's go back to normal progression for now. We're in the cave. Yeah, old tossed up piece of furniture. Got a pot of tea. Books collected. There's the phonograph. You find a cupboard. It's hidden near a corner, close to the ground, but it looks dusted and well used, like the owner opened it, closed it frequently. It is locked. Click. There's a bundle of letters inside. Act 1. Okay. Angela Bard.
Dear Angela. What? Magic isn't enough for you. You want more? I joke, but I'll try to explain my abilities, though it's difficult to properly articulate them. Firstly, I can pick up any object and detect where it came from. I hold it in my hands and concentrate. It's how I found your address.
I put a return address on that envelope.
It's like looking through a keyhole. If I can concentrate enough, I can go further and feel where the object originally came from. For example, the stamp collection I found was from a poet from New Sorn, but the stamps were originally printed in Britain.
Oh.
If I tried my hardest, I could perhaps find out that the paper used to make the stamps were from a tree cut down in Canada.
Wow.
My powers don't extend to making letters appear from thin air, so I resort to a more human method. The post office is fortunately just beyond the edge of town, so I drop off my letters when no one's looking.
Oh.
Then there's the dreams, which you experienced firsthand. I put myself in a sort of meditative state and can walk through human dreams, manipulating my surroundings while I'm there. While I can influence dreams to an extent, I cannot speak in them. While I do have a true form, I can take on many others. In a way, all my paintings are self-portraits. It's silly, but when I read that you wanted to know what I look like, I felt oddly exposed.
Understandable.
I don't wish to explain my appearance, even vaguely. Perhaps it's better if you picture me however dashing or gruesome you wish.
Or a mix of both, if you prefer.
I'm old enough to think for myself, but quite new compared to others of my kind. I can't give you exciting first-hand accounts of the 18th century poets who used to walk the Isles of Mull, cutting each other with their tongues and pens. But I'm not so young that I don't know how to cook mushrooms alone. They were delicious, by the way.
Ah.
Here's my plan. On the night before Saturday, I shall give Eliza a very specific dream. During the day of the reading group gathering, act natural. If she gives you any trouble, gather yourself up, look her in the eye, and tell her to stop wailing like a banshee. Tell her that verbatim. Please write back to me and tell me what happens. If Eliza doesn't change her tune, I can always send her a nightmare or 3. Yours sincerely, Devere.
Okay, this is going to be interesting.
P.S. I loved your postcard illustration. It's the line work of someone who has practiced drawing for years. I had no idea you did art.
Ah. Ooh, map.
Dear Devere, today I had a very strange experience. I ran a book club meeting that didn't end with me feeling drained and wanting to pull my hair out.
In a good way, I hope.
The 5 women came to my house again to review the chapter of Pride and Prejudice. We were talking about Elizabeth Bennet's rejection of Mr. Collins when Eliza's biting nature came out once again.
Shocking. She can't help it. Fucking
She
Eliza.
compared me to the character Elizabeth, a woman who will never find a man who truly loves her because no one would be attracted to her prickly personality. The irony of Eliza not knowing how the book ends did not escape me. I did exactly what you had advised. I stood up, looked her in the eye, and told her to stop wailing like a banshee. The effect was immediate. She stood there still as a stone, with a look of shock as if I had struck her. What on earth did you show her?
Oh, an actual banshee.
After that, she stopped spitting venom at me for the rest of the day, only speaking to talk about the novel. Whatever you did, Devere, thank you.
This is a nice little
For
layout
this
of the
envelope,
town. Ah,
I tried to draw the town. I even pulled out some old paintbrushes I had in storage. This is the path I take to send off my letters to you. Can you visit me sometime? I want to meet you. Signed, Angela.
Oh. Ooh. Very
Dear
star-related.
Angela, I'm afraid visiting your home would not be possible. An old magic prevents me from entering the town. I could visit you through your dreams, but I'll always show up hazy if I appear at all. And I'll always be unable to speak, which doesn't make for fun or witty conversation. It's not the same as the real thing, is it? I'm sorry. As for Eliza, I simply took her insecurities and amplified them. Let's just say that your exact words to her would have ignited a memory. Don't worry, I didn't traumatize her. I merely had her take a good long look at herself and how she treats others.
Oh, okay.
Don't let Eliza's words get into your head. You have many qualities that are attractive, and anyone with an ounce more sense than a teacup will see that.
Aw.
Thank you for sharing this correspondence with me. I don't generally get to talk to others. Yours sincerely, Devere.
Ooh, nature?
Dear Devere, that sounds so tragic. Because you've given me so much comfort through your letters.
Be
A
careful.
strange thing happened the other day. Another woman said something nasty. But instead of saying something back to her, I didn't. I just felt unpleasantly sorry for her. The realization that she was just a person who didn't understand came crashing upon me.
Be careful, lest in casting out your demons you exercise the best thing within you. Yeah, that seems relevant to this conversation. Instead of just picking a fight, you just feel bad for her and let it go.
I thought about the advice you gave me. The reason why I'm not married is not because I don't wish to be. Like Elizabeth Bennet, I've rejected the advances of men in the town, even as recently as a few weeks ago. No. The reason why I've never married is because I haven't found the right person. Or rather, because I hadn't found the right person.
Uh-huh.
Devere, there's something I need to say. I've developed feelings for you. I love you.
Oh.
Oh, it feels good to confess this, to commit it to paper. And if you're reading this, it means I found the courage to deliver it. Do you return these feelings? I worry that I've destroyed something wonderful we already have. I pray this is not the case.
It
Love?
feels
Angela.
it feels a bit soon, but at the same time, just a
Dearest Angela, how can I not return your feelings? Your letters brighten up my existence. When I wake up, I look forward to walking to the edge of Ardmore Forest to see if you've left me a new addition to our correspondence.
But then again, having an honest, fulfilling correspondence with someone like this can do that to you. Especially if Angela has that kind of relationship with the rest of the town.
When I got the part of your letter where you told me your feelings, I felt whole. Like a void I didn't know being healed. I love you.
Aw.
It hardly sums up my feelings, those 3 words. I can feel my heart racing. I love you. I will show you this poem I've written. It's soppy, I know. But forgive me. When I think of you, I am undone. It was by yonder fell and glen I saw the fairest maiden, and since that day with yearning pain my heart was sorely laden. I love and worship you, dear one. For all your troubles I shall quell. I will take these fires for you. I fear not fate nor hell. Be well, Angela. Yours, Devere.
1937, Scotland. Hello? Oops. I rolled backwards. Try this again. Hello? Ah, yes. Evening, Inspector. Have you found Miss Bard yet? That threw me off for a bit. I wasn't expecting an input a dialogue choice. Evening, Inspector. Have you found Miss Bard yet? Not yet. Uh-oh. I'm going to return to the abandoned cave tomorrow morning. I hope to find more... Oh, that little interlude where we found the key and opened up the cupboard. That was us. The POV character is a police inspector. Very well. Let me know if there are any developments in the case. Yes, sir. Goodbye. Oh, no. Oh, no. What is this? Oh, this is a very concerning typewriter. Things have changed. Hello, Devere. I'd like you to send me back the letters I've sent you. Would you please do that for me? Angela Bard. Something... Hell is empty and all the devils are here. Caelan Calwood. P.O. Box 16, New Sorn, the Isle of Mull, Scotland. Obviously, he knows exactly where it came from.
To Mr. Caelan Calwood, I am not a fool. Angela never uses that style of paper. She also handwrites her letters. But I assume that you couldn't properly imitate her handwriting because yours is too different. You couldn't even use your own typewriter. This is the one from New Sorn's library, the one with the crooked E. Your letter is a sad, failed attempt at forgery, and an even sadder, loathsome parody of Angela's originals. Do not try this again. Signed, Devere.
Oh? Another letter to Angela. Did that fit into the... Huh. I'm not sure what's happening. Though this is to Angela.
Dearest Angela, someone tried to contact me. I don't know this stranger, but I know that his name is Caelan Calwood and that he's from New Sorn. He wants our correspondence. He made a pathetic attempt at trying to impersonate you in a letter. Against my better temperament, I sent him a reply to go to hell. But this letter greatly concerns me. He even left it at the usual spot. How did he know about that? Has he been doing anything to you? I will send him a nightmare to frighten him. My days are filled with thoughts of you. Please, take care of yourself. All my love, Devere.
Oh? What is this? Stay away from her. See.
Dear Devere, I don't want to alarm you, but my house was broken into yesterday.
Oh no.
I'm alright. It happened when I was out buying bread and paint.
Oh no.
I came home to find the front window smashed with a length of cloth covering the frame, as if to protect someone from the glass shards as they climbed through. It was Kaelin who broke in, I'm sure of it, but I don't have any proper evidence. I checked around and found nothing missing, even though I had some valuable silverware and some jewellery that a burglar could have easily gotten to. That fits in with my Kaelin theory, but it's not enough to get him arrested.
Who is he?
I have yet another confession. Kaelin was the man whose advances I had rejected less than a month ago. He is an appalling young man with a sort of brutish rudeness of someone who doesn't realise he is being rude. He lacks self-awareness.
Among other important qualities.
He hates books and anyone who doesn't think he's right all the time.
Like those. He hates books. And he's also that kind of pompous asshole. Hates anyone who doesn't think he's right all the time.
I haven't told a soul about you, Devere. You are my secret. The reason why Kaelin knows anything about us is because he has been following me. In the corner of my eye, I keep spotting him. In the library and shops, down the street. I realise now what he was looking for. He wanted to find out if the reason why I didn't return his affections was because I was seeing someone else.
And clearly he got your name somewhere, Devere.
He must really want our letters. I've hidden your letters very well, but I want to give them to you where they'll be safe. Kaelin already knows about the rock at the edge of the Ardmore Forest. Something he could only have known from spying on me. And you cannot enter the town. We need another plan. Where can I meet you? In case the letter gets intercepted, write it as a riddle and I will solve it. Yours, Angela.
Angela Bard. Oh, Morse code.
To Angela Bard. I don't think we should continue our correspondence. Devere.
Ah.
I don't think we should continue our correspondence. Devere.
Now, hold on a second. Okay, this just says behind post office, midnight. And now, where do we stand now?
Dearest Devere, I want to thank you for the time we spent together in your home. When I waited by the forest, I feared that I had misinterpreted the code in your letter. Forgive me. Your cave is such a warm, restful place. So many books that the town's library doesn't have. Could spend forever sitting in your armchair, taking in each novel. You'd never get it back.
That's a really pretty watercolor.
I don't understand why you never sent me a true self-portrait of yourself. You look like how I picture an angel. Like from one of the paintings of the Renaissance.
Is that his true form, or is it just a form
as I had pictured.
of his?
One day I'll need to return the favour and cook for you. I never knew mushrooms could have so many different tastes. I think my favourite were the ones that tasted like cooked pork from my childhood. The ones you called angel wings? When we kissed, it was magic. That's how I describe it. So gentle. And then you had the audacity to ask if it was an alright kiss. You're so charming and you don't even know. Hopefully me telling you this doesn't go to your head. When you asked if I wanted to stay the night, I once again became nervous. I wasn't sure what you wanted. I saw there was only one bed and the armchair, unsuitable for sleep. But my worries soon dissipated. You didn't ask anything of me. You simply lay down next to me and fell asleep. As I lay there between layers of cloth and furs, drifting between sleep and consciousness, I opened my eyes. I saw you walking away to gather more kindling, putting on a thick coat. From my misty, tired vision, it seemed like you had changed your form. A wolf? At first, I thought I was still dreaming. It felt like a dream. But I know it was real. I also want to thank you again for the ring.
Oh,
It's a lovely gift. I didn't say I thought it was pretty to prompt you to give it to me. Honest. The emerald sparkles around the gold band as I walk through the morning sunshine. Rubbing the edge of the gem with my thumb against the band gives me comfort. Forever yours, Angela.
I just gotta say, I love this voice acting. Oh no, what is this? You son of a blotted out by voting for broken pen. You mangy dog. You bastard. You miserable dry beast. I saw her walk into town this morning. She wasn't in her house all night. She didn't arrive until breakfast. You seduced her just to get her in bed, didn't you? Was it fun? Were you satisfied? Was it worth it? He was perfectly cordial, I assure you. Do you have an idea who you're dealing with? I spend my evenings hunting with a rifle in the crook of my arm, not some farmhand with a shotgun. Do you know that a rifle has better aim? That it, unlike shotguns, fires a single, accurate shot? Think about it. I watched her walk past the post office many times. The two of you seemed close, I thought. I even thought it was a little charming at first, but you have taken this too far. Just a homeless man in the woods. You're an animal. You don't even show your face at the town. The two of you do not belong together. I'm a calm and reasonable man. Says all calm, reasonable men. You keep telling yourself that, buddy. That's the hallmark of all calm, reasonable rationals in the world today. They like telling you how calm and reasonable and rational they are. But consider this your final warning. I'm not going to sign this. You know damn well who wrote this. Oh boy. Wait. Postcard. Moral indignation is jealousy with a halo. H.G. Wells.
I'm sure I don't know what you
Oh,
mean.
shit. How do I bring that back? Help. I'm having... Okay, here we go.
I'm sure I don't know what you mean. Devere.
Ooh. Wolf. Fire.
P.S. I'm sending this as a postcard because your note is not worth the dignity of a letter in response.
Another pretty painting. Crystals this time.
Dearest Devere, I've burned your letter after reading it, as you've instructed. I hated doing that. It was such a beautiful letter, and I don't mean the envelope. I've committed every word to memory. There's nothing to be forgiven, you wrote. I'm touched that you're willing to wait for me. Would you really wait forever? You don't need to answer. I trust you. I want you to fully understand the gravity of that trust. There's no one else I really trust in this town. I can't exactly talk to the women at the book club about this. They'd think I was mad. I went to one of the policemen at the station desk and confided with him about Kaylin following me. The policeman behind the front desk was kind enough and said that he'll give Mr. Carlwood a warning. But I have my doubts that anything will come of it.
Agreed. It'd be nice if they did
The
something
police
about it,
in
but...
Newsom are not known for being competent. They're mainly made up of volunteers, some of whom are friends of Kaylin.
Oh, well that makes things worse. Jeez.
On my way to the library, Kaylin spotted the ring on my finger. He didn't say anything about it, but when he glanced at it, his face seemed to twist with anger and disgust. I suspect he's jealous.
Let him be.
I'm getting tired of this. I'm getting tired of us having to change which rock I hide these letters under. I'm tired of feeling like I've been worn down to a shadow.
I'd say let him suffer, but I'd say let him suffer, let him be jealous, but he's the kind of guy who's going to eventually resort to something violent, and that's not good.
After spotting the ring, Kalen tried confronting me about you. He thinks you're a drifter, a vagrant, and other names I won't repeat here. I was close to striking him with a fist. But instead, I turned and walked away.
You know what else he is, Caitlin? He's better than you little shitbag.
I'm tired of having to dodge and weave past Kalen just to contact you. I want to see you again. I miss hearing your voice already. The Morse code I saw in your room gave me an idea. Be sure to peer out past the forest tonight. Yours faithfully, Angela.
Oh. What? What is this? To Agent Morrell. Last night, 15th of May, at 0000 hours, I spotted a flashing light outside my bedroom window. I recognized the pattern of flashes coming from the outskirts of New Sorn as Morse code. It was followed by another flashing light from another source, Ardmore Forest. I was able to transcribe the conversation in its entirety. Given these very tense times, I am taking extra measures and sending you a copy of the transcript to take a look at. Punctuation was added in myself for ease of reading. The transcript is as follows. Hello, Devere. Hello, I am here. Are you safe? Unsure, but things are bearable. Need to leave town. What? Sorry, I got my voices backwards. Hello, Devere. Hello, I'm here. Are you safe? Unsure, but things are unbearable. Need to leave town. Please wait one more night. We'll send plan through dream. Oh, fine. Going to bed now. I love you. Goodbye, my love. Keep safe. End of transcript. What should be done here? Oh, it may simply be two civilians using Morse code, but it may perhaps be two unknown operatives communicating through code phrases. I'll be waiting further instructions. Signed, Agent Dunta, Intercept Operator. Oh boy. Agent Dunter, going through our current codex of known code phrases, this transcript you have sent me does not fit with any of them in any significant way. The phrase, "We'll send plan through dream," stood out to me, however, as it cannot be taken literally. Dream might be an improvised euphemism for alcohol. While I believe there is no need to investigate further, I advise that you simply continue monitoring most code messages if they continue. Also send an agent to look for hidden plans in the next shipment of whiskey sent to New Sorn. If the messages continue, send me a follow-up. Signed, Agent Morrell. Uh-oh. Go away. I don't want to talk to you. Go away. I'm just reading some letters here. I'm just trying to have a good night, and you're fucking calling the old... Okay, fine, I'll pick up. How goes the investigation, Inspector? Given the evidence I've found so far, I don't believe you will find Miss Bard. Is she dead? ... Inspector, is Miss Angela Bard dead? I'll check the cave one more time. Perhaps there's a detail I missed. Good. I wish for this case to finally come to a satisfying conclusion. Fair? Act 3. Ooh. Mr. Kalen Colwood. What is this?
Kalen, do you really hate me that much? You told me that you have 2 large dogs, like it was a threat. I'm not scared of them, I'm not scared of your lies, and I am not scared of you. Let me make one thing clear. I won't let you set your dogs on anyone I care about. Signed, Angela.
The beauty of this game having voice acting is that she says she's not scared, but you can tell that there is some fear in her voice. She is absolutely scared. Uh-oh, Chief Commissioner Graham! Oh boy. What's the most obnoxious voice I can give Callan? To Chief Commissioner... Gaston. To Chief Commissioner Graham, I'm writing to you about a man who has been living in Ardmore Forest. While this may not seem like a police matter, I have reason to suspect that he is an enemy spy. Oh no. Oh, I don't like you. He's a dangerous one, and I urge you to take action and capture him for questioning. I will happily assist you and the boys in hunting him down if need be. Do not let this Mr. Devere remain at large. Make a move as soon as possible. Kaylin Calwood. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is gonna get bad.
Dearest Angela, what I have to say, I don't expect you to forgive me for this, but this is getting too intense, too dangerous. I lied to you. I lied to you about everything. My powers, my supernatural nature, the dreams. None of this is real. The first dream I sent you, of the wolf and the horns, you didn't dream it because of magic. You simply dreamed that image because it was on the first envelope I sent you. And then I told you you'd have a dream. Your expectant mind did the rest. It was just a trick. It was just a magic trick. I misled you. And when you believed me, instead of telling the truth, I kept going. I kept fueling the fantasy. But that's all it was.
The bit with Eliza was just you standing up to her?
I'm not your demon lover. I'm not a forest fae from one of your books. Kaelin, in all of his harshness, was right. I am simply a man who lives in a cave.
Oh no.
So, now you know. And now, because of me, you're in danger. So I shall do the right thing and end this. Forget about me. Go and live a better life. I'm sorry, Devere.
Oh no. What does it say about this where I'm both willing to believe that he really was a forest fae of some sort, and now with this I'm willing to... It makes sense, the way he's putting this, that it could have all been just... that one setup, and her imagination, and him continuing to run with it, but I don't know. Oh shit, nope. These letters were found in... Okay. These letters were found inside a jeweled casket and a locked cupboard within a furnished cave in Ardmore Forest. They were discovered and collected by the Bureau of Anti-War Operations, along with several documents related to the missing persons case of Angela Bard and Kaylin Calwood. He's missing too, huh? The Bureau has no official papers for Mr. Devere. Inspector blank. Dear Inspector, I am contacting you to ask for your assistance in connection with the Bard case. After hearing your track record on making deductions, I have confidence that you can bring this ongoing case to a sufficient end. The case is as follows. Shortly after the reported disappearance of Miss Angela Bard, 12th of June 1936, an investigation was organized by the New Sorn Police. My men, some of whom were friends of Mr. Kaylin Calwood, noted that he had not been seen for several days, which was not reported, as everyone assumed Mr. Calwood had simply taken leave for an impromptu hunting trip. He had last been seen shortly before Angela's last sighting, so the two disappearances are being seen as linked. Prior to Mr. Calwood's disappearance, 25th of March 1936, he had sent a letter to me, claiming that a Mr. Devere was living in the Ardmore Forest as an enemy agent. Constable Victor and Officer MacFerguson were sent out, but found no traces of a person living there. During an overnight manhunt for Miss Bard and Mr. Colwood in Ardmore Forest, the men discovered the half-eaten remains of an adult male. Oh! The body had been dead for several days in the midst of summer, and the clothes were in tatters, leaving little for the members of the force to identify. Hopefully that was Colin. Two of Mr. Colwood's hunting dogs, identified by their collars and testimony from various friends of Mr. Colwood, were found by nearby, bringing me to the conclusion that the victim was killed by Mr. Colwood's dogs, and that the victim was not Mr. Colwood. Oh, ye of little faith. After asking the members of the force who were friends with Mr. Colwood to identify the body, none of them were able to confirm the victim as Colwood, while one was certain that it was not him. Further questioning led me to the discovery that Mr. Colwood had been talking to his friends in a pub about Mr. Devere, referring to him as a drifter. The men have come to the conclusion that the body discovered in Ardmore Forest was possibly that of Mr. Devere, who had attempted to kidnap Miss Bard. Mr. Colwood had attempted to stop him using his dogs. However, these deductions do not explain the absence of Miss Bard, nor Mr. Colwood. It's been 9 months and the trail is growing colder by the day. While I understand that calling you over to the Isle of Mull at such short notice is inconvenient, I hope this case will properly intrigue you. Signed, Chief Commissioner Graham, New Soren Police. The cave? Oh, is that the start of the POV character, the inspector? Suitcase? Find a small, very thin suitcase lying on its side. It's as if it had been abandoned there by accident. Someone left in a hurry. There are several papers inside it. Look at the top of the page. They're dated the 27th of May, 1936.
Five places to travel to with Angela. A to-do list by Devere. Number 1. See the ruins of Greece. The archaeological sites of Athens must be an impressive sight in real life. I've only seen the pictures. Taking Angela by the hand, we could walk together, looking at the ancient temples. Number 2. Ride on a gondola in Venice, Italy. If Angela wishes, I'll even do all the rowing. I'll stand up, oar in hand, while Angela dips her hands in the water, feeling the waters of Rome between her fingers. Number 3. Go to a boulevard cafe in France. Angela has confided in me that she has never tasted creme brulee. I plan on remedying that as soon as possible.
Oh.
Number 4. Go listen to a musical in England's Royal Albert Hall. We can sit on the balcony and listen to the funniest comedy or the most melancholy ballad. Number 5. The mountain forests of Canada. It will be difficult to cross the Atlantic, or perhaps not. I always seem to find gold when I'm in need of it. But breathing in the scents of Alberta's forests of pine and spruce will be worth it. Sight, touch, taste, sound, scent. I wish to show my love for her with every human sense, to experience the pleasures and delights of the world together. And soon now, we will be free to do that. I am a very lucky devil.
This is the evidence needed to track down Angela Bard. We should send it to the Bureau as soon as possible. But... don't wanna. Hello? Inspector, I ask you once more. Have you made any progress with the search for Miss Angela Bard? I've finished reading through all the letters I found at the cave site. Good. Please forward them to me once you've done with them. With respect, Captain, I'll need to send them to the Bureau first. You're grumbling through the telephone. Fine, fine. I also reread your letter regarding the case. I have been reviewing my notes as well. Just off the record. What do you make of this Devere? Do you think he was more than a man? What? What? Truthful or lie? Of course not. Devere was just a man, nothing more. I forget I mentioned it. What's for you won't go by you, after all. The letters will tell the story. I wanted to update you with an autopsy report. The victim's body was kept in as preserved a condition as we could, but time stops for no one, even the dead. The coroner rechecked the body and was able to find something he did not see when there had been more tissue. The bite marks had gone through the jawbone. Mr. Caelan Colwood had 2 pointer dogs. He couldn't have bitten that far down into the bone. I mean, the body wasn't killed by Mr. Colwood's dogs. The biting force of a large dog is around 200 pounds. For the bites of the body to be as they are, they would have had to double that. With the coroner's new assessment, I assume the victim was mauled by an abnormally large wolf. Ooh. A wolf. Aye. You realize that means the victim could be Mr. Colwood then, since it wasn't his dogs that attacked. Aye, that I do. Which would mean that Miss Bard is with Devere against her will. So then, Inspector, what is your verdict? Ooh. Is this our ending choices? So to speak. This is interesting. I feel like the best ending is to not report their potential whereabouts. So we're going to start by reporting their whereabouts. Great news, Inspector. That's the best news I've heard in a while. The places are a bit out of the way, beyond our territory. It's beyond my men's jurisdiction. Will you people be able to follow the trail? I'm not sure. I'll have to ask. If it's possible, the Bureau will have an agent travel to these places with a description of Angela Bard. Well then. Congratulations, Inspector. You're able to solve that which I was beginning to suspect was unsolvable. I shall write a report as soon as I can. At night you hear a wolf howling. It sounds almost human. It's the most dreadful howl of sorrow you've ever heard. As you lie in your bed, you wonder if it was a dream or not. As you rise the next morning, you know that question will haunt you for the rest of your life. And that was Dear Devere. That was really sweet. That was a really sweet story. I'm not gonna lie. A mix of the fantastical and then the down-to-earth romance. And a suspense. Oh. Both those voice actors were really good. I'm not gonna lie. That was... It's a story that was made all the better by the medium. The voice acting, the details put into the letters, and hell, even the backgrounds. Everything woven together. It was just... Man, that was good. Lunaterra, what are you doing in this game? And yeah, it seems that Devere's final letter... Oh, that's sweet. It's a sweet little dedication. Aw. Looks like Devere's final letter was, in fact, just attempting to break it off for Angela's own safety. Something, in fact, happened in those woods. And before we call this a video, we're going to explore the other parts, the other ending options of our report. See if things change. I feel like telling the truth, in a sense, leads to Angela being taken away and Devere in mourning. The thing that the captain doesn't get is that Angela wasn't with him against her will. On that note, let's... So he lied and then told the truth. What difference does this make? If I mentioned it. What's for you? Ah, the truth though. A wolf. Aye. Nope. That has not changed. Yep, I think that is... It might just come down to the final choice. Let's leave this be. I couldn't find anything of worth. Really? This is disheartening news, Inspector. What happened? Oh boy. We are definitely lining up a storm now. Angela Bart is dead. I see. Shall write a report as soon as I can. Return to the litter bin you keep next to your desk. Crumble up Devere's list and throw it into a bin. Oh. This is the one piece of evidence that could lead to finding Mr. Devere and Miss Angela. Light a match. The matchstick you keep for your candles burns brightly. Toss the lit matchstick into the bin. You create a nice little bonfire. The flames lick at the paper, turning it to curling black ash. How strange it is to feel like you know someone after never having met them. As you watch the flames fade into tiny embers, you realize that you never will truly know them. Like it should be. Epilogue, ooh. So telling the truth was definitely a bad ending.
Do you think you'll ever return to the Isle of Mull?
No.
Oh, they're actually together now.
Oh, why not?
I have nothing waiting for me there. Nothing good, at any rate.
Do you not miss a single thing from the island? The town? The beautiful fields? The forest?
Not really. Besides, you're here.
So where to now? Rome? Greece?
Finish your sketch. I'm still sore you lied to me.
I'm sorry.
Lying to me about lying? I didn't believe that last letter for a moment, you know. I mean, if you lied about having powers, then how could Eliza have had those nightmares?
So what you're saying is, I'm a terrible liar.
Yes.
Right then. You love me. Am I lying?
You're not lying.
Oh. Well, this has been Dear Devere. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.